Good morning. It's Friday. Yay. Actually, perfect timing because it was gloomy. I almost had to turn on the light because it was kind of gray and dark and gloomy. It's still not completely sunny, but at least it's bright enough that I figure no need to turn on the light. Happy Friday. Yes. Welcome to another probably short, maybe 15-minute-ish video of Bitcoin, comic, and stock trading. Okay. As you see in the thumbnail that I have, I talk about the four stages of Bitcoin, and I'm gonna go through part of that today. It probably will be divided into two separate chat, one today and one next Friday. Okay, that's gonna be my guess. First up, um, when it come down to something new, okay, whether it is technology or food or anything, TV shows, whatever, you know, the first people to take a risk, get in line, not willing to waste money, trying something new, or, what many people would use the term early adopters, okay? And that was what Bitcoin was for the past many years. Okay, Bitcoin has been around now for over a decade, right? But for sure, up until say a year ago, it was definitely not mainstream. Okay, so I think those that got in on the ground floor, as they call it, can definitely call themselves early adopters. Okay, I definitely cannot call myself early adopters, even though I bought my first Bitcoin in 2017. Okay, so I won't give myself that title as early adopters, but it's with many things. Even like, I'm gonna give you an example. Credit cards. Okay, credit cards was around for a long time. I came to America in 1980. Okay, and the family that took me in, um, even in '83. Okay, in '83, even in 1983, 1984, 1985, in those early years, as I was living with this American family, they didn't use credit card. For them, it was a foreign concept. Okay, for them, they don't even have an ATM card. For them, going to the bank to withdraw money was what they do. To go to a machine, stick in a plastic piece of a card, they didn't get it. Okay, I can tell you, I worked in a grocery store um, all through 10, 11, and 12th grade, which is, 83, 84, 85. Hello, Louis 13. Morning, Thomas. And as a bag boy, grocery bag boys, right? And I can tell you, I did not see anybody. Well, I wouldn't say any. There was a few. Okay, for those that are old enough. Okay, I'm 54. For those that are old enough to remember what it was like in the 80s, as a bag boy at the grocery store and bagging grocery, I can tell you the majority of the people that paid as they leave and cash out was cash or writing checks. Okay, yeah, that's was a majority. And the few that use credit cards, we had to use that machine. For those that remember, you gotta put the card down, you put the carbon paper over the card, and then run the card to imprint. If you I think the newer credit card now still have the word and letters to be bold, like raised, embossed. I'm not sure what the right term for it is. But you know, but that's to me is not mass adoption. Okay, it's back then, even in the early '80s, credit card was not a mass adoption yet. Okay, even though it had been around for over a decade. I think by the time that I went to college in '85, even though I was not I didn't have a credit card as a freshman. The first day they give you application to fill out to get a credit card. I think the limit was like $250. Um, and none of my friends, my roommates, you name it, nobody had credit cards. Okay, so right there, that's an example of 1985 not mass adoption. Okay, but I can tell you, by the time that I graduated in 1989, pretty much everybody had a credit card. All my classmates had a credit card. I had one. And for sure, by the time I entered the workforce at the end of 1989, 1990, 1991, yes, credit card was everywhere. Okay? It's become mass adoption. The reason why I brought that up is lately, over the last week or so, if you follow Bitcoins and follow the news and watch YouTube videos, you hear a lot of people use the word mass adoption. Mass adoption. Bitcoin is now at mass adoption because Tesla bought some and PayPal bought some, or PayPal allow you to buy. MasterCard just announced that they're gonna let people buy and sell things with Bitcoin, blah blah blah. Far from it. Okay, that's over exaggeration by a mile and a half to the moon kind of thing. Okay, not even close. Not even close. Um, I'm gonna jump real quick to the question here. Nick, did you buy comic book at the store you worked at in 1980s? I did not. I did not buy any comic book at the grocery store that I worked at, but I bought comic book at the grocery store near my house. Okay, because for those that live in upstate New York, the grocery chain was Grand Union. For those that remember, I'm not sure if they're still around. Okay, Grand Union. But the Grand Union near my house was in like a little shopping plaza, and in that shopping plaza was a drugstore, and they sell spinner rack stuff. Okay. Okay. So back to my mass adoption story. Okay. So when I come down to Bitcoin, okay, we had the early adopter stage. Right now, we are entering into the second stage. And that second stage, I believe, is corporate adoption. At first, it was first adopted mostly individual, if not all individuals. Okay. Now we are entering the second stage where corporate adopt. Does that mean that Bitcoin is the real deal and there is no failure? Blah blah blah. I'm not saying that. Okay, if you understand crypto, there are thousands, if not crazy amount of speculative crypto coins out there that could go to zero because they are just nonsense. Okay, um, but right now we at a level of corporate adoption. Okay, and at the same time, you still have consumer adoption. Okay, like me. Okay, I can't call myself early adapters. Okay, I can't. But there are quite a few late. I think I can coin. I can phrase that to the group of current people that joined the Bitcoin world in the past year or 2 years as late adopters. Okay, but we are nowhere near mass adoption. Okay, we're in the second stage. There are pre-stage, fourth stage. Okay, stage. I will talk about the third stage and the fourth stage next Friday. But for now, I think we are at the beginning of corporate adoption, and we have a long way to go before we can use the word mass adoption. Long way. Okay, so any channel that you watch that talk about this is mass adoption, if this mass adoption, if this was mass adoption, I can tell you it is the end of we are near the end of the rise in the price of Bitcoin. Okay, once it's mass adoption, that's it. Okay, think about this. When does a stock stop going higher? Let's use an analogy of the stock market. Stock go higher because more people that don't own it want to own it, or the people that own it want to own more. Okay, that's how demand trump supplies drive price higher. Okay, that's how stock in general go up. Okay, once everybody own a stock, if everybody have Apple and everybody have all the Apple share they care to own, how would Apple go higher? Think about that example I just gave you. Okay, usually a stock top out at max ownership. Once all the people that want to own it are willing to pay a certain amount are gone, price tend to roll over. Okay, so in the short term, right now, I would call this mass adoption. Does that mean that Bitcoin can't go from 48,000 to 45,000? Bitcoin can swing 10% easily up and down. Okay, so that has nothing to do with can Bitcoin go to 100,000 or 200 or some crazy number that people predict. We are a long way from mass adoption. A long way. Super more retro. Yeah, I mean, as corporate begin to accept it is inevitable. I can never say that word. Inevitable. Only when it slow down. The price is going to explode, and people that have not bought into it are going to wonder what happened and how they missed the boat. Okay, um, we are, like I said, at the early corporate adoption. Yeah, so when you can count the number of companies that talk about buying into Bitcoin or offering purchase and sales in two hands, and there are literally thousands, tens of thousands of companies out there. So we are so early in this second stage, so early. But wait till next Friday when I talk about what the third stage is, because I think that is when you will see the hyper jump. Okay, trust me. Mark down this video. My prediction is the biggest jump will be at the third stage. You have to wait until next Friday to hear about the third stage. John Valenzuela said he bought some XRP at 5 cents. Right now, it's like 60 cents, something like that. All right, so something like that, right? So it's like 10 times whatever higher. I think it's not as high as $1. Was it ever $1 XRP? I don't know. John Valenzuela asked, do you have any gold or silver? The answer is very few, but I do. I own some GLD, that's the gold ETF, and I have some physical gold and physical silver. Very few, okay? A few ounces, okay? Not like I have a lot. I'm not a big fan of gold or silver, to be honest. So it's not something that I look to invest in. When did I start buying big boy books? I would say 2003. Yes, 2003 was the beginning of me diving into four figures book. Okay. Up into 2003, the most I ever paid for a comic book was $50. And then in 2003 on, I started to buy four figures, five figures kind of thing. Yeah. What's my thought on Litecoins? It's not for me, but other people can buy it. You know, it's I own Bitcoin, Ethereum, and synthetics. Okay, that's the three crypto that I have. In fact, I sold some synthetics earlier today. I bought synthetics below 20, 19, 18, and when it was 25, 26, I decided to sell half just to book some profit. You know, the name of the game is, gains are gain, but sometimes you need to book some gains. Hello, John Long. Morning. Cuckoo said, I hear Ultimate Fallout 4 is a new Bitcoin. All I know is those 5 copies. I sold 2. I sold 3 already. Okay, just so people know, I sold 3. I shipped 1 to Comic Link already, and I will sell 1 on my channel sometime next week to get rid of all 5. Super More Retro say, in my opinion, almost all the altcoins are going to die eventually. Correct. Well, I wouldn't say correct. I don't know. I tend to lean toward that side of the argument because, right now it's at a gold rush stage of altcoins, okay? Because you get all these developer running, creating all kind of different apps and application, and do we need 5,000 different apps running on the Ethereum networks? Who knows? I don't know. At the end of the day, will the apps be useful and make money and have widespread usage? That is what all the altcoins need to answer 2 years, 3 years, 5 years down the road. Okay, they all have niche concept, right? Without going too deep into the weed, all of the all of the altcoin have their own little nuance as far as what they're trying to do. That's different from another one, right? Not to say that there is no 2 altcoins that do exactly the same thing, but most of them have their own little nuances and little niche that they're trying to capture. How many people did any kind of studies on the size of the market that they tried to capture? I don't know. Okay, I doubt. Many of the creators will tell you this market is billions, billions, potential billions. Okay, okay. I will keep my money where it is. Yes, Cuckoo. Comment nice about maybe selling those Ultimate Fallout. Yes, I'm pretty happy. As usual, that video was shot. Those books came back like 2 weeks ago, right? I'm not about to drown the market. I sell most of them first before I show the video. So now that it's gone, okay. For those that fear that Nick is gonna flood the market with 5 copies, 3 are gone. So No fear, it's gone. The competition is gone. Okay. I do believe that Bitcoin had much higher to go. How high? I don't know. Okay, I'm not one of those crazy YouTubers that's predicting a million, 1.5 million, 15 million. I don't know. Okay, all I know is because of the trajectory of adoption is at the early stage. We are at the beginning of the second stage. There is just no way that we are near any kind of level of mass adoption. Nowhere near that. Okay, so keep in mind, okay, if you hear other people talk about mass adoption, keep in mind, go back to my credit card example. Okay, credit card existed for over 10 years, and there was a lot of people in the 80s that still think it is whack to use a piece of plastic. So we are at that stage. Okay, it's not mass adoption of any sort. There are still so many people not believing Bitcoin. It's okay. I have told a lot of people, if you run across people that think Bitcoin is fake and start to go off on you, it's dumb, it's this, it's that, it's fake, let them be. Let them be. Okay? Let them be. You don't need to convince them. You don't need to tell them they're wrong. Trust me, I don't want to get into any argument with anyone that tell me Bitcoin is phony, is fake, is this and that. Let them be. You know, every time I read a comment from someone that doesn't like Bitcoin, I just shrug it off. Okay, because it's nothing you can do. You can't spend your time convincing people on something that they don't understand. They have two choices. They can keep not understanding, or they can try to understand. You know. Wow, cuckoo! I did not know that. I did not know that there was a Bitcoin machine in Chicago for gas. You can pay for gas. Really? That's something new to me. Like I said, you know, there's a lot of things that's going on that I don't know. There you go. I just admitting something. I don't know something. My God. I think you will enjoy next Friday when I talk about the third stage, because I think that is when I think a lot of people is missing out on the potential why the third stage is going to be the big ramp. If you can guess what the third stage is, let me know. Feel free to put it in the comment or in the section here, because corporate adoption is at the beginning. The third stage is when the word capitulation is going to come in. Okay, capitulation. That's just a hint of what the third stage will encounter. Capitulation. Anyhow, that's it. I didn't want to keep this thing very long. John Valenzuela, before I go, I have a question. I don't know, man. I don't keep up with Action 252. Is that the first Supergirl? I'm guessing at least 3,000, right? For that kind of grade. That's my guess. I don't know. It's not a very active book. Okay, it's not an active book in any sort, but I have a 7.0 somewhere in the closet. It's not a book that I can take out a look whatsoever, but I do have a 7.0, and I know at one point I could have sold it for 5,000. I should have. Nobody cares about that book right now. You know, it will stay in the closet until Supergirl get hot again, and then I'm gonna shoot it out so fast, because I have zero desire to have that book. None. Anyhow, that's it.